This is an introduction to Villa Kalman's Secrets, the second book in the series of Rachele Modiano Mendes, The Early Years. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. Venice, 1925. Somebody shoots at two teenagers who jumped a fence to retrieve a ball from Villa Kalman's garden, a Liberty villa in the Lido, the island between the lagoon and the sea. A couple of months later, a young man is found severely beaten and unconscious in the shed of the same villa. Who fired the shot? Who was the young man? Why was he beaten unconscious? Were those events related? Rachele Modiano Mendes is pregnant with her second child. She needs to unravel Villa Kalman's secrets before she starts a leave of absence from work. So, where is Villa Kalman's in Venice? And why all of a sudden cars appear in Venice? Well, Villa Kalman is one of many Liberty villas at the Lido of Venice. As you can see from the map, the Lido is one of the islands that separate the Adriatic Sea from the lagoon. It's a part of Venice where cars are allowed and is connected to the mainland by ferry. Villa Kalman is one of the several Liberty villas that were built in the Lido after the opening of the Excelsior Hotel, which brought glamour to the island. Why Villa Kalman? Why Kalman is a name? Emmerich Kalman was a Hungarian composer who wrote operettas, originally probably in German, because that's but the owner of Villa Kalman is a Hungarian living in Vienna who owns theatres and made a fortune by showing operettas in his theatres. He also owns the rights to the translation of Kalman's work, something that is completely fictitious and made up. But that is why he decides to call the villa at the Lido Villa Kalman after he bought it. Another question is, what are the secrets? Well, I can't tell you. You actually need to read the book for the secrets. Let's say that the book starts with the need to find out who shot at teenagers that had jumped the fence to retrieve a ball. And looking for the shooter reveals other secrets connected to Villa Kalman. And next question is there any connection to real events? Yes, basically there are two concepts that are historical facts. One is tied to the Italian political scene in 1925-1926. In 1922, Mussolini became the head of government of the Constitutional Kingdom of Italy, following his march to Rome. It was still a government with an opposition. Parliament was still in session. It wasn't a dictatorship yet. 1925-1926 was the beginning of Mussolini's government turning into a fascist dictatorship. The Socialist Party was outlawed. and membership of the Socialist Party was illegal, and you could have been arrested to be a member of the Socialist Party. That was the beginning of the process that by 1930 had turned Italy into a dictatorship with the king as a sort of figurehead and no real authority at all, not even the one a constitutional monarch usually has. Then you have the unredeemed lands, which require a slightly longer explanation. Italy before World War One, it's the map to the left, a bit rough, but you can see there are part of Italy in red that are part of the Austrian Empire. The map to the right is Italy after World War One. You can see that the shape of the country is slightly different. That's because with World War One, Italy conquered the, in quote, unredeemed land, part of the Austrian Empire where the majority of the population was Italian, and also part of the Austrian Empire that were on the southern side of the Alps, on the Italian side of the Alps. This highlight of the map of Italy before World War One shows the area of the so-called unredeemed land. This bigger and wider map shows the unredeemed land much better. You can see that, for instance, Trieste, which is the other side of the Adriatic from Venice, was part of the unredeemed land, and it was also the leading port of the Austrian Empire. Was there a clandestine organization to allow Italians living in the Austrian Empire who wanted to fight for Italy and against Austria to reach Italy? I don't know. I made it up. I tried to make things realistic, but I generally made it up. There must have been something, because Italians living in the Austrian Empire and therefore citizen of Austria did manage to reach Italy and fight for Italy. One of them is even mentioned in the book, Nazario Sauro, who was born in Istria, was fighting for Italy in World War One, in spite of being an Austrian citizen, was captured as prisoner of war, and somebody recognized him, and he was tried and killed and hanged for treason because he was an Austrian citizen fighting against Austria. But the detail of the clandestine organization is completely made up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you.
The police went straight to Dario Zago with a determination that prompted Rachele to intercept them. In her condition, it was next to impossible not to notice her. I am Avvocato Rachele Modiano Mendes. I work for the Venetian law firm, and I am the legal advisor to Mr. Laszlo Crone, the owner of this villa. This is Dario Zago, a researcher for the firm. I asked him to come because we were notified of the discovery when Mr. Crone and I were having a meeting at the firm's office near Rialto. He could be here faster than we could. The policeman did not know what to do with a pregnant woman who claimed to be a lawyer. Rachele counted on that. It gave Dario time to collect himself and sound confident. I arrived after they had discovered there was a man in the shed. The cleaner who found him is in the kitchen. I am a second-year law student. I know enough about the importance of evidence, so I stopped anybody from going inside. When the ambulance arrived, I walked in with them to see if I could remember if they had moved anything. We were careful not to tread over the trace of blood on the floor. There is a coat with a lot of blood by the door. The ambulance people are waiting for you to go in before they remove the young man. He has stopped bleeding and barely breathes. He seems asleep. Laszlo Kron arrived with a chair for Rachele, but Dario had a better idea. He told the policeman who was standing by the shed door that they would be in the kitchen, pointing his head to Rachele and her big belly. He pointed at the window and told him to knock there when they were ready to talk to the cleaner who found the man. As soon as Rachele entered the kitchen, she became the center of attention of the two ladies who were there. The one who was sitting down, drinking water, stood up to leave the chair to Rachele. It turned out she was the one who had entered the shed and found the man, so Rachele had the chance to ask her what happened. "I am not sure I should say these things to you. You are pregnant. You should only have nice thoughts." Rachele took the woman's hands in hers. "Thank you for your consideration, but I am a lawyer. I promise I only think of nice thoughts when I am home with my husband and my daughter. I understand you had the surprise of your life earlier." The woman sat on the other chair. "We were looking for a hose to clear the patio outside the music room, so I went into the shed to fetch it. I noticed what I thought were drops of tomato sauce by the door. When I saw the coat, I realized it was not tomato sauce." Rachele noticed Dario was checking notes. He had obviously spoken to the lady before they arrived. That must have been distressing. Thank you for watching till the end. Like and subscribe to support the channel.